let's just get started. Unidentified movie credits coming over the horizon. Over. Air Force shoot down an unidentified aircraft.
Invaders. You are violating our territorial airspace.
What the hell are they talking about?
What you talking about, Willis?
Colonel was shot down and taken by a Middle Eastern country, and then we flash over to the Colonel's kid. Somehow that kid has a little brother that has a date with a junior that's like 8 or 9. He must have had a really cool pickup line. Hey girl, what's the difference between me and the Titanic? I'm actually good at breaking the ice. Yeah, I just realized the Colonel kid is named Doug. Now, I would blame me for not mentioning it, but they didn't mention it till like several minutes in what his name is. And with all the things that happen in this movie, I really don't blame myself for forgetting the Colonel kid's name. Sorry, this part is not edited because this was just a mistake. But I will be referring to him as Doug throughout the rest of the review. And then we meet Doug's rival, which is basically a knockoff of Johnny Karate Kid. Like I said, we meet Doug's rival named Snake. Anyway, Snake goes into a restaurant to get something, but let's put a pin into the whole evil bad guy plot for now. And Doug's brother brings a letter for Doug. You know what that means?
You've got mail from a desperate boy.
It said all that, we regret to inform you
that your letter to Hogwarts was not accepted. Dang it! Turns out the letter was not a letter to Hogwarts. It was an Air Force Academy, which Doug was not accepted to. Rival challenges Doug to a race, not just your typical car race. Doug's plane versus the rival's motorcycle. Epic race begins. Oh, the effects are so realistic, it's almost like the plane could come out of the screen and hit me in the face. Ow! I was just kidding. The strangeness of 80s lingo. Whoa, dude, this movie is totally sewing machine. Dude, what does sewing machine even mean in that context? You're so car insurance, dude.
Doug, you're coming up on Devil's Face.
It's not the devil's face. This is. You can tell this movie's old because they use toilet paper. Anyway, Doug wins the race. His rival is mad at the results of the race, so he starts a fight.
Couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Anyway, that character never shows up again, so that character was as useless as tits on a boar hog. Doug is notified that his father was taken by the Middle Eastern country. He talks to the Colonel and he finds out his dad is awaiting death trial. Anyway, it turns out the government has no plans to save Doug's dad.
I'm the government, I'm the government, I'm the reason nothing works.
how many years is he gonna stay in that shithole?
That's what I said when I lived in Mississippi. You meet the best character in the movie, Colonel Chappie. Not as cool as this guy. Doug is talking to Chappie about what to do about his father, and he wants to start a military attack, but Chappie says no.
I've got 3 times as many hours on that simulator as most pilots flying Falcons on the base right now.
There is logic in what he says.
He cut to Doug's high school graduation. I wonder if I would look good with a mustache. You know graduation hats are backwards top hat. Doug has a flashback about him and his dad flying around. Flashback in. All the scenes I decided to skip over. Doug eventually manages to convince Chappie to go help him, so they start a renegade mission to go rescue his dad in the country. After a rather touching scene with Doug and Chappie debating whether they should do this or not, we have a montage of them flying to the country.
I told you, damn it. Put in that tape and don't worry about me.
Chappie, I only have a Betamax tape. Only Beta! Chappie got shot down by the enemy planes, and it turns out that that tape was a motivational tape to keep Doug going. Anyway, now I can play this. I've been waiting the whole review to do it. Showed this song to my Mexican friend, and then she wanted to deport herself. Doug teams up with his dad after freeing him to stop the terror, and Chappie is still alive apparently. How you ask? I don't know. The Kool-Aid Man is red. Shut up, don't ask me. But anyway, they go to talk to the government. The government dismisses the operation. Happy ending. Here's my conclusion on the film. I mean, this film is so American it should be classified as a citizen. I see myself rewatching this film because I already rewatched it once with my dad, and I rewatched it second for this review, but a few nights ago me and a couple friends got together and we rewatched it for the 3rd time. So that was a pretty entertaining moment. So I can see this film being rewatched again. So overall, I say if you see this film, check it out. It's definitely worth it. There's only a couple things. Another typical 80s sports film that you would see, such as Karate Kid and other typical 80s sports film. This film comes up with an original plot twist by having an actual villain instead of just a guy that hates him because he has a cool jacket and blonde hair. No, seriously, that's what most 80s sports film boil down to. But just because of that plot twist, it doesn't make the film overall great. Besides that plot twist, it's typical average. But just because it's average doesn't mean it's really fun, and it really shows how this art of film is gone nowadays. You don't really see this over-the-top acting sports film with such simple characters and stuff like that. While I'm not saying that type of film shouldn't be brought back, but these films should be studied and remembered fondly for the type of films and stuff they brought, such as Karate Kid and films like this. Is better than Top Gun, and this film is great. I really suggest, with all the hard times, this film will be great for just a couple laughs and some fun, and this film is good. And like I said previously, it is kind of sad that this genre is missing, although Cobra Kai has done a great construction. I really don't edit these parts because I like to give my raw thoughts without anything interfering with them. Really enjoyed these films. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I really suggest you check it out. It's definitely a relic of a bygone era of entertainment, but it was still really good. It's one of my favorite films of all time as far as the 80s.